guys, welcome back to my channel, The Expanse, Season 4, Episode 5. I'm not gonna really talk that much before this episode because you guys basically know what's going down. It's been pretty consistent in terms of the plot for this season. Like, it's not too confusing to me or convoluted. It's not that hard to follow. The only thing I'm super confused about, obviously, is on Ilus, the protomolecule, and maybe why we haven't seen Miller in so long. Like, you would expect with these storms and everything that's happening with the protomolecule structures that were on top of and below Ilus, you would assume that Miller maybe would have had a method of communicating with Holden. Maybe he just doesn't need him. The first part was Holden repairing the circuit, and then after that, I'm just completely lost with what the whole goal is for the protomolecule. It seems like this season is more focused on the human interactions, which deviate a little bit from what we've been used to in The Expanse. It's more focused on how the humans on Ilus are interacting in their new environment, how the Belters are basically at war with the Earthers, and that's basically it. It's very much not really focused on politics. I mean, the only political thing we really have going on is Christian and her whole thing with Nancy Gow. She's like having a debate with her for the re-election for the Secretary General, I guess. So that's all we're really getting politically with Bobby. We know what's been going down there. She inserted herself into this drug trade that is happening. She didn't want to do it, but now she's forced to, which sucks because all she was really doing was trying to live her life on Mars and do her duty and serve Mars as a retired veteran, basically. And now, look, she's gotten herself into some shit. So I definitely feel bad for Bobby. I hope she gets herself out of that situation somehow. I don't know if she's going to outsmart them, but I do want to see them all reunite in Season 5. Now, I've been seeing y'all's comments in the earlier episodes that Season 5 is going to be, or is supposed to be great because of Book 5. Not sure what goes down in Book 5, but I think what I'm going to do after I finish this season is read the books, probably up to Book 5. I don't know if I want to read Book 5, though, because I don't know if I want to know what's going to go down before the show, because the show might do things differently. You guys have been saying that the show is already doing things differently with the whole Bobby storyline that's been included. Apparently Book 4 was just Ilus. It's just what goes down on that planet, the entire book. So there are some new storylines that are introduced here, so I don't know if they're going to deviate from the books in Season 5, but it seems like they already did for Season 4 out of necessity because we have characters that we want to see and we want to see what they're doing, like Bobby and Christian. So I don't know, maybe I'll read it, maybe I'll do a little book discussion series if you guys want to see something like that, because I think that there's a lot to analyze there, and I'm interested enough in this show that I would want to read. And I'm a college student, so I'm already reading a lot of books right now, and I have a lot of shit to read. So the fact that this show is making me want to read 4 whole-ass books is amazing to me. So I'm going to shut up and get right into the episode. So without further ado, let's get into Episode 5.
They're here. 10 hours early. This isn't what we planned. I did not come here to kill people.
The play is what I say it is.
Oh.
No!
Ooh! It just sucks that with so many planets and new systems that they couldn't just...
No!
Anyways, it sucks that they each couldn't just have their own planet. But I guess we're here now, so shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Unlock him.
Not gonna happen. Put the gun down.
Where's Marjorie?
Kill her. She just hasn't figured out her boss is a dick.
You stay out of it.
There's no need to die over this shit.
Fuck that.
Captain Holden, you left. You're saying we need to evacuate?
Yes, immediately.
Don't think I've forgotten that you're sheltering the murderer, but if you intend to evacuate everyone into orbit, then RCE will do whatever it can to aid your effort. You people act like I'm the bad guy here. I came on a peaceful mission. These squatters drew first blood. You and your friend here assault me and my people, but I'm the bad guy.
He's not
Maybe I just
entirely
got that kind of
wrong.
face. One way or another, we all answer for what we've done. Both light shuttles in working order. Disable the safeties, rig it up for remote piloting, and put it on a proximity trigger.
You want me to make it into a bomb?
I want want you to make it into an option.
Oh my god.
James Holden and a bunch of Belters are fucking up our first exploration of an alien world. But yes, let's talk about the grain shipments.
No matter where the debate leads, we need you to come off as more approachable. The caring family matriarch, it has to be...
Get the fuck out.
My girl is on edge. She's tired. Now that Naomi's out of that planet and kind of getting rehabilitated, maybe she'll meet up with her ex-lover, Marcos.
Our daughter, tell me you know where she is.
Jacob, I don't. Marjorie, he said...
What?
When he was telling me to surrender, he talked about you. And her.
How could you be so stupid?
I wasn't stupid. I did it for us. All of us.
I wasn't strong enough because I didn't want to bring the killing to this planet. Now they're going to round us up like cattle and take us away. We have nothing.
Ooh, is she bleeding?
You can't let them make us leave. We have nowhere else to go. If we did all that, and it doesn't even matter, you have to stay.
All they did was destroy the only thing we had left.
She's bleeding. And didn't they say something about internal... Oh my god, she's internally bleeding. And isn't that in 0G? They don't... The blood can't, like, be suctioned out, right? So it just pools inside the body? Isn't that what they said a couple of episodes ago? Or maybe it was last season. So she could, like, bleed from the inside and die. Did she pass out? Shit. They can't just suction it out? Suction the blood out? I guess there's no way to stop the blood, actually.
Oh, my Urta sweethearts.
What the fuck do you want?
Oh, God.
What the hell happened?
Fucking Belters grabbed 2 of my people. They're holding them in the trading post. Half a dozen more are armed and in cover outside.
Our people have been locked in day quarters by corporate soldiers. They have been executed without trial. We won't stop anyone else from leaving.
They don't want to leave.
They can go in peace, but we will not be forced from our homes again.
They just don't want to leave. I don't
You
blame
look like you're having
them.
a good time.
I do enjoy the clarity of these moments. I am going to gas every Belter in the camp, and the rest will be kept sedated until they can be taken up to their ship and sent on their way. I would ask if you have any objection, but I honestly don't give a fuck now.
He's just got this vendetta against them. Which I don't blame him. I understand both sides of this story. I understand why Belters wouldn't want to leave either. But Holden says it's too dangerous, so they need to evacuate, not because Mercury is telling them, but because it's genuinely dangerous. Oh my god, look at Christian.
Candidates to keep their answers brief and on topic. Our first question comes from the North American trade zone.
I want to ask the candidates how they would protect us from a second Eros incident.
The real danger was that it was about to kill everyone on Earth. I helped avert that disaster. You ask how I would protect Earth from another Eros incident? And here is my answer.
She already did.
The same way I did last time.
Yeah.
Naomi!
How is she still alive?
This week.
Christ, she got the bleeder in there.
Ugh.
You gotta tell me what to do.
But do not make me tell your daughter I had to let you die. Fucking tell me what to do!
Yes. Yes. I would be great in this situation, because that's what I said.
Hey. I got it.
That's crazy. It's very, very interesting how this show handles injuries in space in a 0G environment. Because you could be bleeding internally, but unless you get that stitched up, it's just gonna pool inside your body like it did with her. That is scary shit.
Cover overlapping fire.
I'm unarmed!
Oh shit.
What's he doing?
Me and him.
Just Holden being Holden.
It has been well documented at this point that my opponent exploit political connections to jump the line, I have already requested changes that would close that loophole and make the system fair again.
Nice. What is she gonna bring up now? She's gonna bring up something worse.
Tonight's the first time she's ever interviewed for a job. My parents had friends who helped me get a lottery placement. My opponent has asked what happened to the person whose place I took. George, would you stand up, please? When I got my appointment at the regional government, I hired George to work with my policy research team. We aren't afraid to take risks. And with 1,300 new solar systems, we can provide that opportunity for everyone. What we deserve is a government that gives us a chance.
Damn.
Security alert.
Please
Please
come
reach
to us right away.
until further notice. Alert to security.
Archangel Security.
What?
We have a security situation. Shit.
They're really gonna evacuate her after that incredible speech by Nancy Gao? Really? After she got the last word?
3 hours ago, this ship went off its course. The transponder ID serves as a sign-on.
It was heading towards Luna, but 20 minutes ago it shifted. It's on a collision course with Sentinel-19.
So obviously you're treating this like an attack.
This is the sign-on. We are experiencing a minor failure in our computer systems. We have children on board.
This message was sent 10 minutes after it went off course. We haven't been able to raise them since.
The drive signature on record also matches a colony ship called the Sojourner.
The one the Belters said was lost to scrap.
They want her to do that.
Destroy the ship immediately.
Yes, ma'am.
See, they want her to do that, but my question is if that leaks, that they said there was innocence on there, it's gonna make Christian look bad.
This supposed attack never should have happened in the first place.
Oh my god.
It was bad timing. It could have happened to anyone.
Really bad timing. Ugh. Poor Christian. No, I don't want to see her cry. That is not something I want to see. I'm nervous for her.
I was young and in love with a boy who had a crazy plan. Attack reactor control programs. He had a way to insert them into inner ships. The first one we tried was the Augustine Gamara. It was the one that blew up in the docks at Luna. The man I loved, the father of my child, used my code to overload the reactor. We killed 516 people.
Holy fuck.
And he meant to do it again.
So he used her.
It wasn't your doing then. I almost walked out an airlock. Being dead seemed better. I have a family now. Certainly not one I would have expected. But I love them. I have a life that I like living. There is a path from where you are to where I am. You decide what you want to do with it.
We got a little bit more to the story with Marcos. So she's kind of framing him as a terrorist. At least what she's saying, if that's how the story went. He killed all those people.
I know there's already been bloodshed.
Yes, he used her code. It was her code, but
gunpoint in that building right
it wasn't
there.
her
Get
fault.
the fuck off our planet! Everyone shut up for a minute! This planet is not what you think it is.
The proto-molecule was made to build the ring gates and report back when it was finished. It wants to reach its creators. I had a vision when I was inside the ring station.
Oh, the ghost didn't tell you, but the vision did. I can see why you didn't tell anyone.
I saw a record of the old civilization dying, and I think I saw what killed them all.
If we leave here, we can't go to some other system and find a lithium deposit like this.
There is no version of this where we abandon our charter and we leave these squatters and murderers in possession of this planet.
It's a fucking war. They're not gonna stop. It's two intense sides that both believe that what they're doing is just and right. The Belters want to stay there, and they have reason to. And the fucking Earthers wanted to explore the planet and see what it's about. They can't let the Belters stay there because they have legitimate reason, I guess, to believe that they were the ones that destroyed their ship to begin with. And that, I guess that's even being proven further by the way that the Belters are reacting to all this. They're just as eager to kill Earthers as Mercury was to kill the Belters. What is that? A volcano? Is that the end of the episode? No. Oh my god. Okay, wow. That episode went by very fast. I was not expecting it to be that short, or it felt shorter than it was, I guess, but My whole thing is, with the Earthers and the Belters, I don't really know what side to choose because I feel like both sides have legitimate claims that they're making. Yes, there was evidence that Belters had some doing. It doesn't have, maybe not Belters, but they're the only ones that were on the planet when the Earthers came to land. So they have legitimate reason to believe that it wasn't just a accident that caused the 28 Earthers to die as a result of the ship coming apart. So I understand why Mercury has this hatred. Yes, he might be someone who is just very thirsty to kill people, but I feel like there was reason for that. There was reason for his eagerness to kill these Belters, and the fact that the Belter was egging him on to begin with just made it even easier to shoot him in the head. So that is what caused this whole, or sparked this whole fight, but the fight really was going on way before this planet even happened. So they were bringing these outside aggressions towards each other to this planet, and it was just being heightened. The Belters don't want to leave. They finally have a home, and I guess there's no other home. That woman was saying this episode, there's no other planet in this particular system that has the lithium deposits that this planet does. So I guess there's no way of knowing if any other planet had the same amount of lithium deposits for them to re-navigate to. If there was, that would be easy. They could just leave the planet and case closed, it's done. Mercury has this personal thing that he just does not want them to stay on this planet. He cannot leave the planet in good conscience knowing that they are still there. But what is going on, and what is Holden is trying to tell them, which he sounds like a crazy person, and I would, in my right mind, probably not believe him if he were making these claims, however lucky he seemed to be. He is the one that is trying to be the voice of reason in all of this, and trying to say that the protomolecule has no regard for us, and these stupid human fights, these human squabbles mean nothing to the protomolecule. The protomolecule has these structures here. The reason that this is all happening is because the protomolecule is trying to find its destroyed creators and who destroyed the creators. So it's still trying to very much so do that, and we just saw with Alex just now that something is heating up. We've been seeing that something is heating up at below the surface. It's almost like a volcano, but that one guy who Elvie's been talking to, the guy on the Edward Israel that's been basically visualizing everything from like a satellite perspective, he said that there were like heat deposits, but there was no way that volcanic structures could even exist on this planet. So that's been proven wrong. I have no idea what that's going to mean for the future. It just seems like thing after thing is happening, and there's no explanation for it really, other than the vague explanation that the protomolecule is doing XYZ to find out who destroyed its creators. That's all that's happening there. I'm more concerned with the human fights, because if they just keep fighting, and both of them are very stubborn on each side, clearly, everyone's just going to die. I mean, Holden is going to feel so guilty and so responsible if these Belters are so stubborn as to not leave when this planet is basically begging them to leave. I understand that he sounds crazy, but all of everything that has happened so far has been because of Holden and because he's been talking to Miller. I don't understand why this isn't common knowledge at this point, because there's no way that that just coincidentally happens with all the ring gates opening and everything that's happened so far. So I don't know how they explained it to the general public when it did happen. I understand that explaining that Holden was in contact with a dead man who died on Eros may not be like the best look and the best explanation, but it's the right explanation, and if more people start believing that explanation, we wouldn't be in this situation. I mean, the impossible literally happened, so why wouldn't they believe that Holden was talking to some proto-molecule manifestation of Miller on Eros? We've seen crazier things happen on this show, and I'm sure these Belters have seen crazier things too. So, I mean, they're living a miracle. They're living the craziness. They got to go to a planet that they didn't even know it existed through a portal that was opened up. Who do they think opened that up? I could play devil's advocate on both sides, but at the end of the day, they're both so stubborn, so I don't really know what agreement they could come to. I don't know. We didn't see Bobby this episode either, like at all, so I'm kind of wondering what the update is with her. We did see Christian this episode with everything that happened with the Sojourner. I think it was the Sojourner that they blew up, that they were claiming had innocents and children on it, but Christian saw through that. Not really the best look for her right now, especially because she's running for the re-election, and when they got sent off for that security protocol, what's her name, Nancy Gao, had like a very great final speech. Everybody was applauding. She really won that debate. So Christian is kind of at a significant disadvantage here, that she thought that she dug up some dirt on this woman, and this woman just turned it around and used it to her advantage, which is very much something that happens in politics. And I don't know what her next move is going to be, but things are not looking too good for Christian right now, which sucks because I do want her to stay in power. I don't know enough about this Nancy Gao person to really root for her. She's kind of just like the opponent of Christian right now in terms of character. She's not really a character of substance. I don't know her backstory. I don't know if I want to root for her against Christian, because I would be all for rooting for Nancy Gao against Christian if I knew that Nancy Gao wasn't completely corrupt. And it seems like she is. It seems like everybody basically is, everybody who is in power. But Christian, on the other hand, you could see this episode that she genuinely is struggling. Maybe she's just struggling with the fact that she's probably going to lose this next election. What would she do then? If she loses the election, does she just find a different position and work her way back up? Like, I don't know what happens there. I don't know how long these terms are served, or if she would be eligible to run for re-election. I don't really know how it works in this show, but maybe there's a chance that either A, she wins, or B, she could run in the future, or just kind of work behind the scenes. It seems like this is all stressing her out way too much for it to be worth it. I mean, she's not getting information from Holden right now. Holden's trying to hold it down on Ilus. That's on her conscience. Then she's got this whole election thing that is happening. Then what just happened with the Sojourner. It's too much for her right now, and I can understand why she doesn't want to deal with it. I'm rooting for her personally as a character because I like her as a person, but maybe a re-election is not the best thing for her right now. But then again, I don't want Nancy Gao to win because she might be corrupt. In regards to everything else, we got some new information about Naomi's backstory a little bit, which I hope is explored in future episodes. Her side of the story, from what we know, is that her and Marcos worked together. She developed the code and he kind of executed it, so he was really the one that pulled the trigger, but she feels that she was just as complicit, and she kind of was, even though she knew, or she thought that she was doing it under different pretenses. She didn't know that all these people were going to die. She just built the code into the reactors, I think it was, of these inner ships, and Marcos, this was when they were in the OPA, and you could look at the OPA as a terrorist group, I guess, or certain people in it. So Marcos was one of those people, and he decided that he just wanted to blow it up because they have this vendetta against the Inners. So that's how the story went, and now Naomi doesn't have her kid, and I don't know what to even predict because I don't know how she would come in contact. I mean, they're in the same they're in the same space. They're in space. I don't really know where that storyline is going to go. It seems like it's leading up to a possible reunion with Naomi and Marcos. I hope that happens. I don't really know how the books go. If she reunites with her son. I mean, there's so many instances where they bring up her son that I do believe that he's still alive. I don't know how old he would be at this point. I don't know how many years ago it was. Maybe they said it this episode and I didn't catch it. But there's too many speakings of this Philip character that I believe that he is still alive somewhere. Marcos didn't say he wasn't. I mean, they didn't say he was dead. So maybe he'll get his reunion with Naomi, because it seems like this is something that has tormented her for so long and she just wants to reunite with her kid. I really like Naomi at this point in time. She's built up to be a very good character, and I enjoy where her character arc is going this season. I feel like I gave her some shit in the first couple of seasons because her story was a little vague and I didn't really understand her decision making, but I feel that after this season it would be beneficial to maybe go back to seasons 1 and 2 and all that and see the context for what she was talking about in the beginning of the show. And that's the case for a lot of things with this show that I think would be very beneficial on a rewatch, to go back and look and see how things that have played out now have been built up in the earlier seasons that I haven't even picked up on. So definitely this is the type of show that like rewards you when you rewatch it. Shows like Westworld are very rewarding on a rewatch. I love sci-fi shows that you can go back and watch and you can pick up on things and different characterizations and story plot points that you didn't pick up on the first time around. So I think this is definitely going to be a show that I end up rewatching. But yeah, I'm going to shut up and get into episode 6 because I really want to get into it. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Check out my other reactions if you have not already. And I will see you guys for episode 6. All right, bye guys.